So once again, you are locked into the sounds of Paleblu on Reprezent Radio, and joining me in the studio right now is the man like Chris Inperspective. Say hello, Chris.
Hello.
How is it going today, my friend?
Yeah, I'm very, very well. It's a beautiful evening in Brixton. Love it. Thanks very much for having me.
You are more than welcome. So, Chris, you're here primarily to promote your forthcoming EP on your own label, Inperspective Records.
It's my debut EP.
It's your debut EP?
On my own label, yeah, because I had a release, I had one track called Wednesday Evening, which was named after the now legendary Technicality. That was on at Herbal in Shoreditch. It was the first Wednesday of every month.
Yeah.
So I titled the track Wednesday Evening. I put it on the other side of an Equinox tune because it wasn't very good. So like Equinox was be able to sort of like put some joy on the other side. And sort of 20 releases later. So that was like, it was number 7. And so here we are 20 releases later. And I decided, after sort of some significant personal tragedy and some different sort of major changes in my life, to finally have the confidence to put out some of my own music on my own label.
So have you put music out before this? But
I've put out music on a lot of other labels.
Yeah.
I've been very, very lucky. Shout out to Cylon, Exit, Renegade Recordings,
nice.
Fresh Trip. I think I'm forgetting someone, I'm sure. But
quite the back catalogue you got then.
Yeah, there's been a few. I mean, actually, I've just had the thing on Hospitality on the Beach as well.
Yeah, I heard that. Wicked tune, man.
Yeah, so I'm very, very honoured to be on Hospital Records. Yes, admittedly, I do work there, but it doesn't mean it's a doorway in. Because to be honest, if I'm being truthful, the guys, Tony, London Electricity, and Chris Goss, they're probably more militant about putting out tunes from staff members. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? If anything. So, and actually, bless him, Tony actually emailed me, messaged me today, and said that he really is enjoying listening to Call the Future. So if you haven't got it, Hospitality on the Beach. Compilation's out now. Go and get it.
Yeah, there's a lot of tracks on it. So is it 20 tracks? There's more than that, right, actually?
Yeah, no, it's like 20 tracks. Like, I mean, the thing is, I did the CD. Can't remember how many tunes there are. God. So I do the manufacturing at hospital. Yeah. As well as run med school along with Dexter. Shout out to Dexter. See, I didn't forget you this time, man. It's fine. God's sake. Because I forgot him when I did another radio show not too long ago.
Okay.
And I actually do the manufacturing. So all the CDs and vinyl that you've been seeing coming out of Hospital Records, I'm very, very proud. I'm going to shout about it because I'm proud about what's been achieved there at Hospital. If you see the Spy box set, if you see the King of the Rollers release, and there's a lot of things that are forthcoming on Hospital that I'm very, very proud about sort of being involved in. So it's been a great experience working there. I've learnt so much, especially from someone that sort of been grounded in the underground for as long as I have. Sure. It's been great to sort of see like the daylight of like Hospitality and Hospital Records, and seeing smiling faces rather than sort of like moody, sort of geezers with their shirts off. Yeah. It's definitely not that. Hey, don't get it twisted though. I love when you go to nights like Rupture and you go to Jungle Syndicate and those sorts of nights, because that's where real jungle exists as far as I'm concerned. No disrespect to anyone else, but that's for me where the real thing is.
It's proper old school nights. They do it the best.
There's no two ways about it. I mean, if we're talking about Rupture, I mean, obviously they've got their night on this Friday. I'm playing in the old school room. Yeah. And there's no two ways what Double O Mantra have managed to achieve there. Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, and they've represented an element of jungle that's been underrepresented for a long time, which previous to Rupture, we were able to do with Technicality at Herbal, and it's sort of continued now. You've got Launch, and you've got so many nights. You've got Digging in the Crates now coming through. There's such an interest in a beautifully crafted jungle. There's such an interest in sort of like sort of like say 97, 98 jungle. Yeah. What some will call the Blue Note era. Middle school. Shout out to Kira. Nights like that. Yeah. People need to go and represent there and go and support those nights. Because yes, you've got all the sort of daylight shit, as I call it, like the hospitals and the Vipers.
Watch your language.
Oh, sorry. You got all the daylight stuff. Sorry, like the Vipers and the hospitals and the Rams or whatever. But ultimately, you've always got the core earthier stuff. In the underground, and that's where real jungle lives and breathes, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there's kind of been like a resurgence of jungle in the past few years. Yeah. But you're never going to get that kind of classic sound that it was back in the day.
I think here's the thing. So that word's been repurposed now, right? So people will listen to King of the Rollers and call that jungle.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm fine with that. There's a lot of my peers that are not. There's people in my age group and who I've come up with that are very angry that people are calling, say, well, I mean, not to bring them up again, but, like the Rollers release some of their tunes like jungle.
Yeah.
I just think it's like saying Iggy Azalea is hip hop.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
It's been repurposed, yeah? So we just got to let it go and just sort of represent the stuff that you want to represent.
Sure.
And maybe educate rather than sort of separate. You know?
Yeah.
If there is someone that's 19 or 18 and they don't seem to know, rather than vilify them and ostracize them, just pull them to one side and say, look, you know what? Here's modus operandi, or here's Exercise of Demons, or here's Journey to the Ninth Level, which is an Alpha Amoeba album that came out on Reinforced, or here's Paradox, or here's an Equinox track, or here's Senses, or here's, do you know what I mean? Just educate them rather than sort of vilify them for wanting to be into the stuff that they're into. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's really
I think that's one of the things about Hospital that's great about their catalogue is it's so varied and it doesn't stick to one particular taste.
No, I mean they just put out quality where they can. I mean, look, I'll be the first to admit, I say it in the office all the time, I don't like everything they put out. Yeah. I mean, I'll be a liar if I said I did. But what's great about them is that every release that comes out, there's care and there's passion behind it. And, it's hard to kind of, it's hard to sit in the office for 2 years and like almost as I have done and sort of make out like, like all of it's not for me. Yeah. End of the day, you sort of get used to hearing certain sounds. It's like, I've been speaking, French, this entire time in the underground, and now I'm learning how to speak Russian. Do you know what I mean? It's just a different
It's a good
language.
analogy, man.
It's just a different language, yeah.
Cool, man. Let's kind of talk about you as a person. Like, where did you grow up initially?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm from Lewisham, man. I'm a very rare breed. I'm a Londoner.
South London.
I'm South. I'm proper South, yeah. So, I'm from South East London. Born and bred South East Londoner, and I still live in South East. So I'm very rare because I'm a London-born Londoner, and there's not many of us left. So
there's not.
Yeah.
We're a rare breed.
We are. It's important. People need to remember that. But my son was born in London as well, so I always make sure he knows that he's born in London. Shout out to Jacob.
Let's talk about kind of your journey into D&B. So, do you remember the first rave that you went to? Like how old you were, the experiences, the tunes that you heard that you kind of picked up on after that you were just like, whoa, I love this music.
So what happened with me was that I had a friend called Kevin Anthony, and he used to listen to Rush FM.
Okay.
So there was Cool FM and there was Rush FM. They were the two sort of main, and everyone talks about Cool's still going now.
I've never heard of Rush until this day.
Yeah.
That's
Rush
mad.
FM was one of their sort of main competitors, and you had Don FM as well and Eruption as well. Yeah. God, I'm old. Anyway, so I had a friend called Kevin Anthony. Shout out to Kevin, wherever you are. David Ramsey. There was all these guys I used to knock about with, and we used to go around Kevin's house. And his dad used to work for IBM, and he used to have these tapes.
Well, like the computers?
Yeah, the computer company.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like a computer programmer.
Nice.
But back then, you would have rather than having CD or downloading software, you would put them on cassette.
Tapes, yeah.
Right, so you'd have these 90-minute cassettes, and Kevin used to go and steal the cassettes that would have his dad's work on.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is dedication.
We used to take them and tape Rush FM. Yeah, and then we'd be able to take them home because for some reason his radio was able to pick it up where he lived, and where I lived it didn't. So we used to have to go to his house and listen, get the tapes, and then that's how we were able to be introduced to Rock FM and Cool FM and many other stations. So that was my introduction to it. So my introduction to the music was just music. It wasn't really the rave scene. It was at least sort of, so I was sort of 13, 14. Yeah. And so we're talking 20, oh no, God, Jesus. We're talking, that's 30 years ago. Yeah. So that's 30 years ago. Yeah.
So in the 90s, basically.
Yeah, so just having that realisation about how long ago it was.
We can take a moment if you need. It's all right.
I know, but yeah, so, but prior to that, I was, listening to sort of pop music. I was listening to Public Enemy. Yeah. You asked me to bring some of the earliest tunes that I was influenced by, and it was it was a combination of sort of interesting, what I deemed interesting pop music, because it was pop music to me. And that was, there was a guy called Shep Pettibone, who was like a remixer, and he used to do remixes of like 5 Star and Blow Monkeys and Level 42. I was a massive Level 42 fan.
Yeah.
I used to listen to all sorts, but sort of that used to happen, and then the advent of listening to Colin Dale on Kiss FM. Before Kiss used to be pirate, so I kind of remember it being a pirate station. It got commercial.
Yeah.
You'd have Colin Dale on there. He used to play like loads of weird stuff. John Peel as well.
Yeah.
It was just people who were daring to sort of play music that didn't seem to fit the norm.
Yeah.
And that always seemed to appeal. And I don't know why. I mean, I've got to shout out my older sister Dawn, because she was like a black new romantic.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
so there weren't many of them.
That's pretty rare.
Weren't many of them. So like there was a lot of weird music, like Axel F and Harold Faltermeyer and Paul Hardcastle, 19, and there's a group called Manhattan Transfer as well.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of that coming out of her bedroom. And I didn't have a typical kind of I listen to loads of dub and stuff. I didn't have that. My parents were from Grenada and from Barbados.
Yeah.
So my dad was from Barbados, mum was from Grenada. My mum loved calypso. My dad liked blues. So I didn't really have a dub.
That's really interesting, man. As a means of like influences.
Yeah, no, totally. There was no like reggae, and I think that kind of shaped who I am, who I was later on to become. Yeah. Because as much as I love the sort of ragga jungle stuff on some level, ultimately that wasn't what used to turn me on. That's why the likes of a Photech tune was going to be always more interesting to me than a lot of sort of like traditional jungle, as it were. Yeah. It was always something that I appealed to, and that's why you don't hear any of that kind of stuff on Inperspective. You go through all the catalogue, you don't really hear it. And and I'm not dissing anyone that does like it. I'm just saying it just wasn't for me. I like the more ethereal stuff. That's why I was into Bookham. I was into Reinforced, even though admittedly on Reinforced you had Tom and Jerry and all that stuff. But I like the weirder ones. I like Alpha Omega. I liked the ones that were a little bit more like,
they made you kind of, uncomfortable, but still in your comfort zone, but uncomfortable. Yeah,
definitely. So discovering, so a big thing for me was discovering Square Pusher.
Yeah.
Like, I was at George IV Pub just up the road from here. Yeah. £5 we paid. Shout out to Equinox. We went to see him play, and we saw him for £5. And some weird white guy comes up on stage, or not. It wasn't on stage. He just got into the booth, in the DJ booth. There's barely any room for him. Yeah. He's holding his bass guitar like this, and he's just like playing his bass guitar, and they're just tearing Eamon coming out while he's playing his bass guitar. We're like, what the hell's going on?
Was he wearing the fencing mask at this point?
No, man. No. This is a long time. But ironically, this is what's so mad, because you fast forward 25 years later. I went to see him at the Barbican. I cried my fucking. Sorry, I swore.
Apologies
sorry. I cried my eyes out because it was just so beautiful to see that someone who was, as far as I'm concerned, sort of so rooted in sort of like electronic experimentation, was able to still perform to a huge audience like the Barbican, when I had seen him, some 20 years previous. I'm so sorry for swearing, it's really annoying.
That's all right.
But I'd seen him sort of some 20 years previously at the George IV Pub. Yeah. So he was a massive influence, and then obviously Aphex Twin has always been there. I remember when the Prodigy went to #1 with Firestarter. Yeah.
That video gave me nightmares as a child.
To be honest,
I'd just like to point that out.
Really?
And shout outs to my brother Elliot for showing me that video when I was 4 years old. Still gives me nightmares.
Wow, okay. Yeah. My nephew got scared by Bonkers, the one, Dizzy Rascal. He used to get scared by that tune.
To be honest, the Come to Daddy video as well from Aphex.
But Chris Cunningham's a bad man. Chris Cunningham made a lot of incredible music, a lot of incredible videos for Radiohead, for Bjork, for Square Pusher and Aphex Twin. Yeah. And I think that's important as well. It's real artistry, it's real creativity. Yeah. And I think sometimes that's somewhat lacking in the modern scene. That's why I'm a big fan of people like Flying Lotus and stuff, because they always push boundaries. Whenever Flying Lotus brings out a new album, he's always reinvented himself. He's always doing something new. He always does amazing visuals to go with it. Yeah. It's I just like people that push boundaries. That's why I have guys like Profane on my label.
Yeah.
You know, like Earl Grey, like Future T, like Lynch Kingsley. You know, these guys, you know, as far as I'm concerned.
Lynch Kingsley is big, man.
Listen,
love his records.
he's got his album, you know, he's just finished his album for me.
Sure.
Forthcoming on Inperspective. And, you know, like, obviously Headwinds, you know, shout out to Earl Grey, Jim, I love you. Headwinds is a pivotal moment in Inperspective's history. It showed that you could have an album of, you know, incredible dance floor based tracks, but that was still able, you were still able to sit down and have a Sunday roast to.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, what Lynch is doing now is the next echelon of that. It's like a gateway to the future of Inperspective as far as I'm concerned. I've told him this, and we've had the conversations, and we want to push the boundaries of where Inperspective is going.
Yeah.
We love drum and bass, but I love a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And Lynch's album is kind of like going to be a lynch, well, pardon the pun, it's going to be a linchpin in sort of like a transformation of where Inperspective Records is going to go. Yeah. Definitely.
So, you know, before I came here, I said, do you remember the first record that you bought? And you do remember it, right?
I do, yeah. HMV. In Lucian.
Yeah. You got it with you right now?
I have got it with me right now.
Digital.
Yeah, it's a weird choice because people are going to be like, oh, is it some, you know, is it Lonnie Liston Smith? Is it no, because what people seem to forget, like, we all want to be cool. We always want to say, oh yeah, I was into this cool stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was into that. Yeah, I was the cool kid. No, you weren't. You're a liar. You're lying. Yeah. You know another thing, Ryan. TV theme tunes.
Yeah.
Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Airwolf.
Yeah.
Street Hawk. 18. Yeah. Dynasty. Dallas. If I say Dallas to you, you know the theme tune, right? People forget.
I think so.
Well, maybe you're right. You might be a bit young for that. But what I'm saying is, alright. What I'm saying is the point being. Stop making me feel old, man. The point is that I think actually TV theme tunes were way more influential on me before actual music were. But I'm not going to play any of the TV theme tunes. I actually did this when I was on another radio station, which I won't name. Yeah. But I did a whole show where we did a thing, like for the first hour, I was basically playing TV theme tunes that massively influenced me. So like, Sorry, there was a TV series called Sorry, which was Rodney Colbert, who was like a 40-year-old man who was living with his mum. And that TV theme tune, me and my younger sister used to do remixes of it while we were in bed. That is like, mad. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, just singing the song to ourselves. That sticks in your head, you know? That's really, really important.
I hear that.
But
let's talk about this first tune then.
So the first tune I got to play is there's a group called the Blow Monkeys. Yeah. And they had a tune called Choice. Yeah. And I so we as a family used to go to Pontins, which is like Butlins.
Yeah, I used to go Pontins, man.
Now let's get it real. Let's have it right.
I'm not that young.
No, that's cool. It's cool. But we used to go to Pontins, and let's have it right. We'd literally be the only black family that went, right? So, as a rule, we'd make sure that I'd enter the disco dancing competitions and all that sort of thing because
you're gonna win.
Right, I was gonna win. Yeah, I'm just being honest. I'm not saying that white people can't dance. I'm just saying that in that scenario, people were always gonna give the black kid the award because I was the only black kid. So we just always entered, and Mum would always push me to go forward to whatever. God rest her soul.
This is the tune you did the dance to.
This is one of the tunes I did the dance to. And what's funny was I won the sort of the local disco dancing one. Was it Camber? No, Pakefield. Yeah, Pakefield, Pontins, and then you get invited to like the national thing. Wow. Where, you know, all the people that won at all the local ones would go.
To get into a competition.
And that was, so you go and bring sands. I lost to some kid who was wearing like a sequin tracksuit, and he had the headband and everything. He was doing star jumps and all that stuff. But you know, his parents were probably making him train like 18 hours a day. Like sleep the other 6. He's speaking to his therapist now. Yeah, like he's that poor kid. Yeah. He had pushy, you know, mummy. You could tell. When them mums, you know, the ones that the pageant like parents. You know what I mean? He was one of them parents, and bless him. And I won hair gel. Yeah, you won hair gel. It was LA Gear, and they gave me Caucasian hair gel as the prize. With my and I've got like a Tintin. I've got basically a shaved head, a little Tintin, you know, like with little front tin. For a shout out to Tintin fan, man, don't know it, Tintin, and like a little tuft of hair at the front of my head, and they gave me LA Gear hair gel as the prize. I came 7th out of 9th. The kid was jumping in the air and doing backflips, and he had like glitter on his face.
Oh,
and,
man.
You know, I was just there with some tracksuit and some t-shirt and just doing like, you know, some moves.
Two-stepping.
Yeah, I was just doing some moves. You know, I weren't like trying to, you know what I mean? I weren't trying to like do.
You weren't trying to wear sequins or anything.
What's the John Travolta film? What's it? Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever. Thank you, baby. Saturday Night Fever. Well, you know what? He was doing that. You know, he had the whole suit, everything.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, Blow Monkeys choice. This is it.
Let's get into it. Wow, that was an interesting tune. No, it was, man. I really enjoyed that.
1989.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
That's like ahead of its time.
I'd like to think so. I mean, like I said, shout out to Shep Pettibone because he didn't. I don't think he produced this, but there's a guy called Shep Pettibone.
Yeah,
and he used to do, and I think he was a massive influence because he used to do these kind of like crazy remixes of quite commercial pop tunes.
Yeah.
And he used to kind of like do that, you know, he used to like chop the beats and
okay, cool.
Really like do. I can't. I mean, just go, if you're listening, Google Shep Pettibone. He was just incredible. He did remixes of Level 42, 5 Star, Blow Monkeys. You know, he was sort of like the Uber remixer before people even really knew what remixing was. I think he was American. Yeah. And I think he came off the back of the house thing. Yeah. So he was kind of like basically making dance versions. Sort of like commercial, sort of underground dance versions of very commercial pop tunes. Yeah, I remember we were talking about Urban Dawn. You know what I mean? It was similar to that. But yeah, so I mean, the next one, if I'm
absolutely, yeah,
because I really want to play these now. So I want to say it was. So I can't remember who bought it for me for Christmas, but I got probably in like 1990, 91. I got the greatest hits of house. Okay. Compilation. Yeah. And it had like Jungle Brothers and like, you know, Girl I House You. It had another tune by this guy called Todd Terry. Okay. Bang the bing dang bang bingo and all this sort of just weird like, you know, just house music, right? Yeah. But there was a tune on there that I used to just on the vinyl that I used to just put on. It was on repeat. And it's, for me, it is quite a majorly influential tune because it made me realise like, okay, there doesn't really, all right, it's musical, yeah, but it didn't seem like music. Yeah. Like it was like something else. It really opened my mind to the possibilities of what was there, and I didn't realise like it's a real sliding doors tune for me because I don't think if I heard this tune I'd be into electronic music. Yeah. I mean, I was listening to hip hop at the same time as this. Sure. But this, I think, turned me on to the idea of other things. Okay. And that's a track by Stacker Humanoid. Cool. And you know, it's I believe. I'm trying to remember if Chris Marigold, shout out to Marigold Clinic Talent. I believe it's Future Sound of London. I've got to double check. Oh, really? I think it's Future Sound of London in the earlier guys, Stacker Humanoid, but I've got to double check that. And after we played it, then I'll tell you if that's true. Let's get into it, man. Big tune there. Wow. Classic material. That is an absolute classic of a hip hop tune. Yeah, Shockley Brothers. Shout out to Shockley Brothers. So the producers of Paleblu. So that is the final track of your selection that you brought today. Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, thanks for talking. This is probably the longest interview. I've actually second to MC Rage. Right, okay. Yeah, he had a lot to say. Yeah, Rage. I mean, I don't know him well, but yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, big up to Pat. And yeah, thank you so much, Chris. I think we're going to finish for the last 10 minutes by listening to some of the tracks off your EP, right? Yeah, I've got a couple of tunes of mine. I mean, I've got one from the EP, and then one that's obviously on Hospitality at the Beach. I'm probably going to give that some love. Yeah. But we'll start off with the one off my EP. Just a real quick story about it. It's called Dragons in the World. No, I do not watch Game of Thrones. It's got nothing to do with Game of Thrones. just to make that clear, just all the people that, you know, were
you're going to have like half of all the listeners tuning out now?
I'm not hating.
They're going to listen to Kiss after this.
No, I'm not hating on anyone that loves Game of Thrones, because if you like it, it's all good.
Yeah.
Happy you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy the final episode, but it seems a lot of people seem really upset by it.
Yeah, let's not talk about that, yeah?
I don't really care. But I'm
still upset. I'm still pissed about that.
It's called Dragons in the World because basically I was listening to so the whole concept of the EP was that one of the reasons why I've never released an EP on my own label is because I don't know which tunes to put out. And what kind of inadvertently happened over a course of period of time was individual people came up to me and told me that I should put out certain tunes. So there's an artist on my label, Profane, who I love dearly. He's got Villain Mills available on InperspectiveRecords.com, which is his album. He's an incredible artist from Canada. And he basically told me to put this tune out, which is Dragons in the World. The Dragons in the World of the title is from a speech by kind of like a evangelical minister.
Okay.
And he's anti-science, right?
Right.
So like most religious people are, I'm a stone cold atheist.
Yeah. And
like, you know, like a lot of religious people, they find science and technology quite intimidating, scary. So in this instance, the people that are the dragons are scientists, basically.
Okay.
So he's saying that we shouldn't listen to them, and there's dragons in the world that we shouldn't listen to.
Okay.
So I thought that was quite ironic because most people that are involved in electronic music are scientists at some level.
Do you know what? This is great because I get so many artists who just come on the show and they're just like, this is the name of my EP, and they just can't explain why it's called that. But you've actually given me like a full detailed background.
Oh, listen, if you go to my
EP.
Bandcamp, it's an entire history of my life.
Like, well, okay.
Yeah, like
it's the way it should be done, man.
Listen, I've got a tune, right, real quick. I've got a tune called The Red Is Gone. Yeah, and that's because my ex-partner used to have really bad periods, and whenever she didn't, right, and as soon as it finished,
bro,
it was just lovely. I'm just telling you that if you go on my Bandcamp, Chris Inperspective Bandcamp, you'll see that tune, The Red Is Gone. That's why it's called that, because she used to, you know. So shout out to Charlene. Sorry, but I'm just my son's mother. But yeah, I'm just revealing the personal stuff.
Bringing that one up. Thanks for that, Chris. And on that note, we're going to wrap things up now. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming down. We're going to listen to some of your tunes right now. If you've just locked in, we've got 10 minutes to go. This is Paleblu on Reprezent Radio. I'm here every first Wednesday of the month.
Whoa, like technicality.
Yeah. So keep it locked for the last 10. Myself, Paleblu.
Represent.
And how does one slay dragons in the world today?